It's me, Mr. Gilbert, with your Friday science lesson. Today, we're going to be talking about how the seasons affect different bodies of water. Let me make this page a little bit bigger. Here we go. So, you've already learned previously in first grade how water changes from solids to liquids. Let's talk about what happens to these bodies of water in the different seasons. So, let's start with a pond. Here I have an image of the pond in probably spring, maybe summer. And you'll notice that the pond is a still body of water, so it's not flowing. Take a look what happens in the winter to the pond. What happened to the water? Think to yourself, say it out loud right now, make a prediction. So it turns to ice, okay? The pond freezes. Now I want you to understand that ponds are still pretty big bodies of water, and typically they don't freeze completely to the bottom. They could if they're shallow enough, but in this case, it's not going to freeze completely, um, unless it's very, very, very cold. But I want you to understand that the pond here is freezing because that water is not flowing. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. It's a still body of water. Let's take a look at another body of water. Let's actually come back to ocean. Here's a picture of a lake. Lake and ponds are very similar. Why are they similar? Think to yourself. Say it out loud right now. Why are they similar? Well, they're similar because they are both bodies of water that do not move. Other bodies might flow into them, but lakes and ponds don't flow. This is a picture of a lake. It's a very big lake. Remember, lakes are large bodies of water that are not flowing. Take a look what happens to the lake in the winter. What happened to the water? Now, this is a very large lake. Here we have a man actually walking out onto the ice. The water on the surface of the lake is going to freeze because it's not moving. It's not a flowing body of water. Yes, the water moves a little bit, but it's not flowing like other bodies of water we've learned about. When it becomes warm again, what do you think happens to this ice? It's going to melt and it's going to turn back into what you think about when you think about a lake. Maybe you go swimming in a lake or do something in a lake as a family. Let's take a look at another body of water today. Ah, here's a stream. Now, think about what season we're in here. I'm gonna take a good guess that we're probably in winter. I'm gonna say December, January, February. It's looking pretty cold, and I'm thinking that because there's snow on the ground. But you notice something different about this body of water, this stream. Why is this stream? Why is the water not frozen? Think to yourself, why would it not freeze? What's different about the other two bodies of water that we just learned about? This is a moving, flowing body of water. So this body of water is not going to freeze like a lake or a pond. I also want to point out in this picture right here, here we have the snow. Let's see if I can get my pen up and working here. Okay, so we have snow on each side of the stream. Whoops. Why is the snow not moving? It's also technically water, right? Snow is just, it's frozen. It's like frozen water. It's all snow really is. Why is this staying put? Because this water's flowing. It's going down to the lowest point. This is not a liquid at the moment. So let's take a look at this next photo. It's a photo of a stream. And here we have a stream in probably a different season than our last photo. What season do you think this would be from? Say it out loud. I'm guessing this is probably spring. Spring we know as we actually know spring is the muddy season. And we call it the muddy season for a reason. Look what's happening right here. What's all of the snow? What's it doing beside the banks of our stream here? It's melting. So I want you to understand that the snow is not going to be moving when it's in the snow form. But when it gets a little bit warmer and that snow begins to melt, it's going to turn into that muddy, muddy, mucky mess. And eventually it's going to also have some of that snow go into the stream, and then that stream's going to continue flowing to its most downward point. Here is my favorite, the river. So I've spent a lot of time out this year paddleboarding on the river by our house. It's a big body of water, and it's winter in this picture. I would not want to be out here on this water because look what's on the side. It's snow. It's a beautiful winter wonderland out here. Snow is stuck to the trees. I'm sure it's very cold. But this body of water is not frozen. No, sirree, it's not frozen. Why is it not frozen? It is flowing. It is a moving body of water, a flowing body. So the water here is not going to freeze. It's going to continue to move to that lowest point. And then, of course, we have in the summer or the spring, after all the snow melts, that water's still going to move. There's some lovely people here tubing, and that water's going to continue flowing down to the lowest point. Now, I do want to talk about another body of water today. We skipped over it. And let's go back up and let's talk about everyone's favorite, the ocean. So I want you to look at the illustration right now, the picture here. Take a look what you see. Here's the sandy beach, but what's this stuff right here? This is going to give you a clue to what season it probably is. This is snow. Have you ever been to the ocean and seen snow? It's pretty neat. Doesn't always snow near the ocean though. But here there is some snow. So it's probably, let's say it's winter. It's going to be cold. You don't really want to go swimming in the ocean in winter in the snow. Why is this body of water? Why is the ocean not frozen? Any idea? Think to yourself. So it's not frozen because it's still moving. It's moving a lot more than a lake or a pond. Like here, you're seeing the waves crash. But the biggest reason here, this is salt water. Salt water doesn't freeze like fresh water freezes. So all the other bodies of water that we've studied today, pull them up. The pond, this is fresh water. Okay, these are fresh water. The lake is fresh water. The stream and the river are fresh water. But because the ocean is made of salt water, it's not going to freeze like the other bodies of water. This also is bays. I forgot to put an image up here, but bays, let's type in bays, are also salt water. They don't freeze. The bays are not going to freeze as well. Now, today for your exit ticket, you're going to be explaining why ponds and lakes do freeze and why streams and rivers and oceans don't. You have an exit ticket. You can complete that exit ticket. You can also video yourself saying your answers to the exit ticket as well, because that might be a little bit easier with this specific assignment, explaining in words why ponds and lakes freeze and why oceans and streams, and rivers do not. So I hope that you understand now by the end of this lesson why certain bodies of water freeze in certain seasons and why certain bodies of water do not freeze and what happens to those bodies. Okay, don't forget to complete your exit ticket. You can complete it right on Seesaw. You can upload yourself talking and working through the answers, or you can take you can write your answers down. Sorry, I was going to say take a picture, write your answers down, and upload them that way. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy Friday, and we will see you all next week for some more Science with Mr. Gilbert.